So John Williams joining us. Okay, we're talking about love of people, and if you want to find out more about that, and I highly recommend that you do, go to loveofpeople.org. Blue Monday mission. I mean, we've kind of given you guys an idea. Okay, but tell me, okay, so you're the executive director of Upper Lafayette, right? So, okay, but tell me how you've renamed it and why.
So I am the executive director of Upper Lafayette Economic Development Foundation.
Yeah.
Herb Schilling, Todd Citron, Ed Crampy, E.J. Crampy, they started that in 2005. Jan Swift was the first executive director. And now in 2020, I've taken over. We've come in to implement certain projects, is the best way.
Kind of the best way to put it. Yeah.
So I own a small business. So I look to create support services for small businesses, whether it's online presence. We have resources to where we can do a one-pager for your business online. But one of my main projects is workforce development. That's something that I started 8 years ago through Love of People and my private company. I wanted to be able to go into communities and really identify people with a natural ability and desire to serve.
Yeah.
I believe that those types of employees are people, like I tell my employees all the time, I'm hiring your grandchildren.
I love that.
So you better be careful because you can mess up your grandchild's job, you know. And I find those people in our underserved communities. I would just host a community event, and then we would identify those people at these events. I think I've hired upwards of 25, 30 people like that in my small business. And it's given me the best rewards as a business owner. So that was the We Care initiative. And now that I'm executive director for Upper Lafayette, I changed that to hashtag Hire Upper Lafayette. And that was the real that was one of the main reasons why I took the position, because I now have multiple businesses that all are looking for reliable, accountable, dependable employees. And I believe that as business, we have an untapped resource that is sitting there waiting in these underserved communities.
I totally agree.
Yes.
Yep. There's so many great people out there.
Amazing people. And what prevents them from being your next CEO? I don't have a ride.
Yep.
Who's gonna get my child off the bus at 3? So we implement support services for these people in these communities, to where they can now focus on trying to progress their lives. And it takes that. It takes that investment. In themselves.
Yeah.
But
it's hard because, like you said, there's so many obstacles.
Yes, and you're breaking, in some cases, generations of learned behavior.
Wow.
So you have a lot of people who just don't even realize
that there's so much out there for them.
They don't realize.
Yeah, and that people are ready and willing and able to help.
Yes.
Wow.
But and that's why I'm so excited about the time now in our community, because that gap is being closed very rapidly. The gap between whether it be millennials, underserved communities, and the people who have it and are willing to help, those people in those underserved communities or with those roadblocks or barriers, they're coming full steam ahead. Because especially I find in, young black communities, I listen to the music that's coming out right now. Yeah, there's a bunch of noise out there, but then a lot of the words that you hear in the music that these kids are listening to are about taking accountability, are about no excuses. And it's changing the makeup of these communities. So it excites me to talk about it.
I would imagine so.
I want to plug them into, these small businesses in the area that need these strong, devoted, committed people. I want to use these employee pools to attract development of new and bigger business.
Yeah.
I mean, as a large company owner, if I knew I'm moving into a town that had access to 300 workers within walking distance of my business.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to jump on that.
That's
right?
pretty enticing to me. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So, John, how do you make all of this work? I mean, it's like you're doing this amazing juggling act. I mean, this is service like squared, tripled. I mean, is it because one thing has built upon another, and you're just making synergy out of it?
That's a great way to put it. I know some of my close friends and even mentors, they'll say, John, you're spinning a lot of plates in the air. And I'll say again, I'm really doing one thing.
And that's service.
I'm serving others. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to progress my community. Mm-hmm. From the outside looking in, it may seem like I'm juggling, but I'm not. Mm-hmm. I'm standing still. Now I'm just trying to pour gas in the engine, to be honest with you. You know, everything is working, but it's working on a small scale.
Well, what do you need? Do you need more volunteers, more brain power?
I'm at the point now, and I never thought I'd become that person, but it's true. You know, now when I refer to gas in the tank to get the engine going, I need the donation. Yeah. I need because I have to hire, you know, volunteer coordinators. I have to hire trainers to train the people.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I've created the system. I've proven the system on a small set that I could afford and physically could handle.
Could do, right, yeah.
And now we're at a point to where we need to come together, large businesses, and this needs to be on the top of the box, the first box to check when it comes to community involvement. When it comes, we have a system to where you know, you have these businesses can send their employees to do employee building, team building exercises. What better way to build a team building than serving the community together?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, we can use your company and your employees to go into an underserved community that one of your employees may be from.
That's right.
And together use one of our systems to do a community Christmas gumbo or a toy drive and serve your community right there. You know, there's a lot of different benefits from community development and the way that we do it.
So would people go to loveofpeople.org to find out more about that too?
Yes, ma'am. Loveofpeople.org. I had a good guy, and you know, let's talk about bringing resources. But Justin Roy, it was one of the first websites he'd ever took a crack at. You know, and he did a great job. And that's loveofpeople.org, and you can donate, you can volunteer. The volunteer system right now, we have honestly a list of about 50 people that I can call at any time. And we identify what it is you want to do, you know, how long you want to do it for. I'm not trying to make you go back to work, you know, but I want you to have your purpose.
Right.
And, but now we need the management side of that. I never created any of this so it could be mine.
Right.
You know, I told people from day one, hey, the pie is big enough. You come identify what you bring to the table or what ingredients you bring and come on and come get it.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, and get going.
So we need to hire that management, you know, the coordinator, the quality assurance. Karen Rue, you know, she's one of my medical she does the evaluations for the medical side for the musicians. We have to blow that up exponentially. Yeah. Because the need is just severe.
I would imagine that, there are so many different issues, you know, that people have, and it's hard to get access to care.
Yeah.
You know?
And then, you know, something that's always very important is understanding that these younger musicians, in 30, 40 years, they're going to be in the same position.
That's right.
So in this last year and a half, the mission has opened up to begin offering support services for those younger musicians. You know, they need help marketing, booking. How can they afford to put together an EP kit? You know, so those are services through what I call the musician's etude that we offer the younger musicians. Etude is a French word meaning to work and study. So we just took over LCVC offices on Evangeline Thruway,
Yeah,
Ben
I
Bertolazzo.
saw that. Yeah.
So we're actually putting the etude there,
Wow.
where musicians, the younger musicians, can come and receive these goods and services.
Wow. Gosh, this is great. You have so much good positivity out in our community. This is excellent. All right, we've got only one more segment. It's not fair. Okay, so
I'll come back as often as you want.
I was going to say, I think that's what we're going to have to start doing.
No problem.
I think, and look, I'll have to wake you up in the morning, but I think we should also work out something where on the second Monday of the month that I call you and be like, okay, so what's happening tonight with Blue Monday? And you'll be able to give me kind of an idea of what's going on that night.
Indeed.
Another
come.
reminder.
I'll stop over here.
We will just be like, get in this studio.
I'm coming.
All right, we've got more with John Williams on the way.